What's up, guys? MegaBleeder here with another episode of Star Technology. I didn't do much between the episodes, just cleaned up the system that we built over here, just covered up the cables. But today what I want to do is get some more progress done, solving some problems. So let's get started. Okay, so one issue that I'm having is hydrofluoric acid is like non-existent, or hydrochloric acid, I'm sorry. And the problem with our hydrochloric acid production is we don't have enough salt water. Salt water comes from seawater, which comes from an industrial barrel. This, we can craft everything except for the laminated glass. And I believe this is the only glass that will work in this structure. If we take a look at glass, there are different tiers. Let's see. EBF, no. If we look at something like hardened glass, that goes into a multi-block. So all of these have some multi-blocks that get used, clean room glass, stuff like that. So we need laminated glass. The issue with that is we don't have this polyvinyl butyral plate. For that, we need the liquid polyvinyl butyral. And we need these two resources here. This butyraldehyde, which we do have propane. The other one is this polyvinyl acetate, which takes... We'll use this recipe here, vinyl acetate and oxygen. The vinyl acetate is ethylene, acetic acid, and oxygen. So there's a couple of chemical reactors here that we've got to set up. There's one for this guy, one for this guy, 2, 3 more chemical reactors, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 chemical reactors. This tungsten line here is okay. I do want to finish the plat line coming back from this. The only thing that we need, the only other thing that we're going to do with tungsten is mix it and do some stuff in the ABS. So I think what I'm actually going to do is put these chemical reactors back here. So we'll take a half a stack of those. We need 4 of these guys. We're going to need some PTFE type casings. And some coils. And I guess, no, we'll go Canthol. The chemical reactor doesn't benefit from having better coils at all. So let's go 1, 2, 3 blocks back. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room here, but it is all part of one system. So I might like stack them vertically. Is there a spot that this would work out better? I suppose I do kind of have room back here still. Let's move them back over here. And if we're going to stack it vertically, we'll go there. Chemical reactor, PTFE, coil block, maintenance. And I shouldn't have any issue stacking them directly on each other, but I think I want to put some stuff in between. What do I have from X-Tones? We'll use the corp blocks. Let's try bit corp. That's variant 2, and we'll do variant 4. That's what those look like. That's what those look like. And then that one is that. So I could probably... Let's do this. That'll work. Then let's get copy paste gadget. Pop one more right there, and let's do this. We're gonna copy here to there, and then switch it back over to paste. Clear that. Like so. And then I don't need these. And that pulled them from our system. Okay. Okay, so the first one down here, and these are HV. They can all run at HV. Are they slow at HV? We'll run them at EV. Let's do that. For this guy, that makes 1 bucket in 5 seconds. For this guy, so the butyraldehyde, we can run it HV. The liquid polyvinyl butyral, we'll run this at EV. This will be the top one. So 3 inputs and 1 output. And those are just buckets, so ULV input hatches. And an output hatch. And let's go inputs on the side, outputs on that side. Okay, so the vinyl acetate, the polyvinyl acetate, vinyl acetate are going to be these. So I need 5 more input buses, or input hatches. And 3 output hatches. For vinyl acetate, we're going to make this one first. It's 3 and 2. And the last one is 2. Inputs and 1 output. And then the last guy is 2 inputs, 1 output. 1 output, 2 inputs. Okay. Now for this guy, it has an output. One of them is going to be vinyl acetate. The center one will be vinyl acetate, and the other one is water. Okay, and if we take a bunch of our ME interfaces, these outputs can also be interfaces, except for the water one. That's going to be a trash can. The last one, we need EV energy hatches. And let's do... let's do power in the middle. We'll put an EV energy hatch on that guy. And we want it to run on IV. Okay, and then the next step down, that's fine running on HV. The rest of them will run on HV. And those can go here. This one's going to go there. Okay. Now the rest of it can just be filled in. Let's get our building gadget. No, I want to do a build to me. Let's see on the backside. Can't see because of my jet boots. Do that, that. Not that one. This one. Okay. Break that. Break that. Break that. HV. 2 EVs. All right. Okay, now I need a bunch of cables. I'm gonna need 2 wireless connectors. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6. That's 8. So we should put our connector here. And let's take a look. So I need the vinyl acetate first. Vinyl acetate first. This is made 3 inputs and 2 outputs. So this is the wrong section. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Okay. So the first one, vinyl acetate, is oxygen gas, acetic acid, ethylene. Oxygen gas, acetic acid, ethylene. Those are going to come out. Polyvinyl acetate is oxygen and vinyl acetate. I've got 3 inputs on that, though. Polyvinyl acetate. 2 inputs, 1 output. Your water. Water. Okay, the next one, 2 inputs, 1 output. The inputs are vinyl acetate, and oxygen. And then moving up here, will be this guy, propene, hydrogen, carbon monoxide. Propene, hydrogen, carbon monoxide. And then your fluid coming out is that guy. And then finally, our last one, that guy and that guy. Okay, now let's hook them up to power. So an EV energy hatch. And I don't have a connector, a converter. Let's go with a 4 amp. Hopefully that'll be plenty. Grab some Enderium wire. Grab our wire cutters, get this guy connected there. That's HV, HV, HV. And aluminum wire. Bam. Bam. Connector. There we go. Then I just need some points. Okay. And now I should just be able to connect these up. Let's get some dense cables. And some cable anchors. Just to make it look pretty. Oops. Wrench. Okay, so we'll grab that and our color applicator. And this guy we can just add on to this network here. You're transferring 2 channels. So if we pop that there, connect him up to this, we should see that turn on. And we might see these running. Or not. But we see one running. It's taken 10 seconds. We need, let's get rid of all of these tags. We're going to have outputs. I need a canner. Can I make an IV canner? I can. I think I'm gonna need, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. 4 cells. Our manual machines are back here. Pop those down. I'm gonna take 2 of these out and then I'm gonna go paint my cables over there. There we go. Let's go paint these. I would like it if you could, like, double click to just paint all of them, but that doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know how to do it correctly. Blue, didn't paint these. Light blue, or blue, let's paint that. Okay. Good, good, good. Let's go ahead and grab these other discs. We're going to create one disc with this butyraldehyde. B-U-T-R-Y. Y-R-A-L-D-E. H-Y-D-E. Butyraldehyde. I think that's how you say that. Now, if I put this in here, we should see this. Take these fluids. Yep, there we go. And now, oxygen, acetic acid, ethylene. Why is this not working? This is our 3 inputs. This is the one that gives us water. Circuit 3. Now it's on. Vinyl acetate. Vinyl acetate. There we go. Store that guy. Now, is this working? This needs to be circuit 1. This is making polyvinyl acetate. polyvinyl acetate. And then all that's good. Now this guy's running butyraldehyde, polyvinyl acetate. It's making liquid polyvinyl butyral. And this... Do we use the ingots for anything? I don't think so. I think it's gonna just go into a fluid solidifier. I think it's literally just to make the one thing. So I might as well just pump it into a fluid solidifier. And turn it into sheets. It looks like we're going to use this laminated glass quite a bit. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's take... I'm going to break this. And... Can I take this out with cells? Lock that. And let me break this because it's not necessary. Let's see. We'll run... If we run it in a forming press at EV, it'll take 5 seconds to make each one. Then each one of these only takes 2 seconds, so I could use just an LV fluid solidifier. Let's see. Fluid solidifier. That's going to be a plate mold. We'll pump that out into a forming press. Right? And what I'll do is power that guy. What is this? Soul infused wire. Get an LV energy converter and EV energy converter. 1 amp. One amp's probably fine. Get some points. And that is, let's get a robot arm. Let's move this toolbox up here. And screwdriver, robot arm. Keep exactly 1. Yep. And then if I put an interface here... Let's see. Okay, so we can get a drawer up here, no problem. So, table, interface, 2 tempered glass. If I get another robot arm, say keep exact 2, import. Get 1 more cable. Okay, and do a drawer, laminated glass, and go there. Actually, I want to move these. Let's move these too. I do this a lot, like set up something and then change it. There we go. Okay. You are going to auto output the front. And then we're going to lock you and link you. All right, laminated glass. Let's see. I want this to stop outputting for a second. Just so I can get rid of these. Okay. Now each industrial barrel only takes 9 laminated glass. Perfect. Let's take these out. Put them in there. This guy's just being a little bit slow. Let's make this look nicer real quick while we're waiting on that. Those aren't gonna work. We need iron plates times 3, and we'll put these guys on here. And then the other one was the bit block. There we go. Come on. Hurry up. Faster, faster. One more bucket. And this has no other use than just this laminated glass. And this stuff, so 10 there, 57. Whoops. 12 on a nuclear reactor. 40. That one's only 9. Just trying to see how much of this we might need. If I want to, like, upgrade this drawer or not. Probably throw just one upgrade on there. That takes it up to 16,000. If we need more than that, I would be surprised. Okay. So we got that all taken care of. I'll cover this up with facades later, but what I want to do is make an industrial barrel. I feel like it makes sense to put 1 or 2 of them over here, because I want one for seawater, and one for one for seawater and one for lava. Okay, I don't need those. For these, I don't need these fluid cells, but I want them in my backpack. Okay. Backpack. And then this guy needs maintenance hatches, inputs. I'm going to need 40 black steel frames. So let's take a bunch of these and put them into a lathe. Did I make a lathe over here? I did not. That's fine. The lathe over here is just fast enough. Okay. Let's grab everything else. Maintenance hatch. 2 of them. If we're making salt water, seawater, and if we're making lava, it's 1 input, 1 output. LV output. Can't spell output, apparently. LV output hatch, 16 buckets. Okay, that'll work. I'll take 1. That's going to be for lava. The other one can just be a ULV output hatch. And then the one needs a ULV input hatch for, or ULV input bus for cobblestone. The other needs a bus and a hatch. Bus and a hatch. Okay. Each one needs 50 clean. I believe I have enough resources for this. Yeah, there we go. Bam. Okay, 50, 50, and then 4 steel pipe casings. Great. And then finally, 9 of the laminated glass. And 20 black steel frames. There we go. And these are a 5x5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's not going to work. But I'll stack them this way. And it's 4 tall. And then oh, I need, it's 20 each, right? 20 each. The clean casing. I'll put a maintenance hatch right here. Looks like all the stuff just goes on the backside. Okay. Still have my building gadget, right? Yeah. And then this goes on the front. Like so. And we can do a head stuck. Do that. That. Take our laminated glass. And this guy is going to be input, output. And let's take some more black steel frames. I actually want 4 more. I'm going to go up 1 higher. Clean casing. Laminated glass. Oh, wait. Which were these? These guys were in the corner. And then over here, input, input. Input bus. This does not get used. Input hatch does. Output hatch, input bus. What am I missing here? How did I do this wrong? I just didn't make enough of these? Oh, because it also needs power. LV, LV. Should I run it at EV? 10 seconds. I should run it at EV. Run both of them at EV. Okay, input bus on lava. It's getting... No, sand. I need 1 piece of sand to go in here. And neither of these takes a circuit number. This is going to be an interface. That's getting sand. It gets sand and water. Output's going to be lava. And then this is cobblestone. Like so. Get another 4 amp converter. I do not recommend putting your toolbox in a place like this. It's really easy to lose them. Let's get 2 more wireless connectors. We'll place one down here. And the other is going to go a little awkward. In an awkward space here. Okay. And then just wire it up. I should start working. Seawater. Gotta change it to magmatic. Cobblestone going in. Lava. Oh, I need to swap these. Now it's working. Lava's going in here. Seawater. Building up. Now, if we want salt water, there's not really a good option. Just centrifuging. Let's check and see how fast it is over here. It looks like we are doing fine on getting enough, but it is a little slow. But turning that... We have plenty of seawater. It's the salt water that we don't have a lot of. So making the salt water, we need a centrifuge. Okay. So let's take a look over here and see. I'll probably build a centrifuge to put up here, honestly. If I'm making the seawater right here, I might as well turn it into salt water right here. Let's paint these cables. Okay. Now, to be able to make the centrifuge, I'm going to need this Tumbaga casing, which means I need Tumbaga ingots. Now, I did set up the mixer to make the dust, but I don't have that yet. I don't have it yet hooked up into an EBF. which I think I'm going to put another design of EBFs back here, or another block of EBFs back here, because I don't want to build it any taller than this tower, which is the same height or roughly thereabouts as this one. Our acid's still not fast. We might be backing up on it. Or it might be trying to back up on it. There might be buffers that are filling. But we need to process seawater faster to get more salt. That's why we're trying to do seawater. So I actually need 2 centrifuges. Point 3.3. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is set up a blast furnace over here that's going to look just like this system. I'm going to do that and I'll be right back because you don't need to see that because we've done it a bunch of times. All right, so here we are. I put 2 centrifuges down. One is turning seawater into salt water. And the other is turning that salt water into salt and the other byproducts. Here's what that looks like. I just put them on top of the barrels. Pretty simple to set up, just an input here, and I've got the output facing up for this bottom centrifuge, and then the input facing down for the top centrifuge. And then these are just copycat boards that I placed down just as like decoration. Just because the all gold was pretty obnoxious, honestly. But I got that set up. And then I also went ahead and threw down a chemical reactor. That's taking sulfuric acid and the salt that we're getting and turning it into hydrochloric acid, which is being used really quickly. If I take a look, our acid, we are at a net loss on sulfuric acid. But our hydrochloric acid is not that fast, and it's partially because our barrel is not fast enough. It is running on EV, but that's not quite fast enough. I could probably upgrade it to run at IV. And if we take a look at seawater, an industrial barrel, it's on EV now. If we turn it down to IV, it's twice as fast. I don't know if that would be enough, because it looks like the centrifuge can handle quite a bit more throughput. Let's, you know what, let's try it. EV energy hatch. This will be the last thing that we do for today. We're going to see how it holds up. That right there. Grab our toolbox. Get it hooked up. Okay, now that's running at IV. This is running a little bit better. See, it's barely just flashing in there. What's our uptime on this guy? Better, but just it's not great. And now we're just using sulfuric acid faster. So this probably, yeah, and this is at HV, so this isn't even upgraded. So this guy's still pretty slow. It would definitely be better for me to probably have another industrial barrel. But I think that is going to be everything for today. The next thing that I'll be looking at doing is getting the thing that we're looking at, that we're making progress for, is the IV energy hatch. To be able to make this guy, we're going to need iridium, and we're going to need, we've got platinum. We'll have to set that up, but we're going to need tungsten steel, which we can get from mixing steel and tungsten in an EV mixer. Then we need to blast it, vacuum cool it, so we can make the IV machine hull to be able to make the IV energy hatch, so we can ramp up our molten ore production. So we can get more titanium. We're doing all right on titanium now that everything is backed up. But if I wanted to make a bunch of IV machines, it would start to burn through all of our backlog. And I don't even have everything turned on. Like the EV energy hatches here, that I've got this turned off, because this will, when I turn that on, that will absolutely demolish all of our titanium. So that'll be the next episode, getting further along, processed through the platline. We're going to need iridium coming up next. So we're going to have to take this iridium metal residue, and we're going to have to centrifuge that to iridium chloride. We will chemical react it with hydrogen to get iridium and more hydrochloric acid, so that'll be a decent return right there, I believe. So, yep, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for stopping in.